everyone, my name is Tina. I am your South Florida garden guru. I've had a few friends ask me to make a video on how to propagate succulents, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. So for starters, succulents are like the super trendy type of plant out there at the moment. They're basically just plants that have adapted to live in dry environments, and in doing so they have developed super thick leaves. Kind of waxy too. So for starters, I'm going to show you how to propagate graptopetalum, which will be a representative of the rosette types of succulents. So we're going to start with a stem cutting. So my stem cuttings I like to be, 2 or 3 inches long. I'm going to snip it right there. That'll be your cutting. And I'm going to remove gently the lower leaves, so about the lower half of the leaves, and don't throw these out. I'll show you to keep these in a minute, what to do with those. And they come off pretty easily. So that's about half right there. We're going to have a few nodes below the surface here, and we're just going to take this to our tray of potting media. Today I just have peat moss, but typically with succulents you're going to want something with good drainage, so something with perlite or sand in it to lighten it up and improve drainage. So our first stem cutting of the graptopetalum I'm going to stick straight into the soil, and we're going to set it and forget it for a few weeks, and it'll start rooting all on its own. So these leaves that we removed from the lower half of the cutting, you can either lay them on the soil surface in the tray, kind of like these guys, or you can set them in a cup on the counter, and what they'll do after a few weeks is they will begin to send up a new shoot with roots sticking out the bottom, and that's your own new little plantlet right there. So that's our rosette succulents there. Another type of succulent is a portulacaria, or some people call it elephant bush. These also propagate from stem cutting pretty readily. So again, 2 or 3 inches of cutting, like so. And you can either stick it straight into the pot that it's going to live in, or you can use your same propagation tray from before. So you're just going to take this cutting and you're going to dip it right into the soil surface, so that way at least one node is underground. If you're going to be growing this in a pot, I would recommend multiple cuttings per pot and pinching the top ever so slightly, like so. You can zoom in. Just right above a node, right there. And that'll branch and create a beautiful plant. Another type of succulent is a calancho. I have 2 types of calanchos here. Flapjacks, or this guy, they'll oftentimes have baby plantlets at the base of the pot. So you can either separate these like this, at the base. You can take your shears and snip that off, or you can gently pull that out and place that into its own pot or into the propagation tray. Calanchos are also notorious for growing baby plantlets at the base of their leaves, at the edges of their leaves. But these calanchos you can also grow from stem cuttings just like the others. So again, 2-3 inches, and stick at least one node below the soil surface. And for those of you new to gardening, a node is simply where the leaves meet the stem of the plant. As I'm making my rounds, I kept this out here. This is from a panda plant. So this is, I believe, another type of, I think this is a calancho. I'll have to double check on that. So these can be grown from leaf cuttings as well. Moving on to the other side of the bench, this is a sedum. So this is a great ground cover, super Florida friendly, drought tolerant, all that good stuff. So for my sedums, I just, not delicate in any way, shape, or form, just take off a few stems from the edge of the plant, make a little bouquet, stick my finger into the soil, about a 1/2 inch deep, take that rosette and just lightly tuck it in. And that's all it needs. It'll start rooting and growing on its own. And the last type of succulent I have for you today is a sansevieria. Some of you experienced gardeners will be like, oh no, sansevieria is a no-no. This is a different species of sansevieria than the invasive one, so this one's okay to grow. So sansevieria you can either split, or you can take a leaf cutting. So our leaf cutting here is about 1.5 inches long. You'll do it like this, and then you will just ever so lightly tuck that into the soil surface, and from that leaf cutting you will get new baby plantlets coming from the base. That takes a little bit longer sometimes. That takes a few months, or if you're in a rush, you really want to plant sooner, you can just go into the pot here and tug and separate a baby plantlet from the base of the mother. And you can put this one in its own pot or in the same propagation tray as the rest of them. So in conclusion, we've got multiple types of succulents that we've propagated here by stem cutting, leaf cutting, and from removing plantlets from the mother plant. Play around with what you've got at home. Different types of cuttings and different types of potting media or what have you may work better for you. But to me, this is just a fun experiment in learning how to make more plants to give as gifts or to add to your garden. So, alright everyone, have a good day. Talk to you later.